Hello everyone, welcome to the second video for the Cognos tutorials. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn about the architecture of Cognos. But before going to deal with the architecture of Cognos, let's try to recap what we have learned in our previous video. So in our previous video, we have learned about the brief history of Cognos, how Cognos came in existence, and how it became the part of IBM family. And we also learned about the basic architecture of a data warehouse, the various basic components of data warehouse, and the role of Cognos in the data warehouse. And we have learned that there are two parts of a data warehouse, that is the ETL and BI. The part that deals with the data and which capture the data from different types of data sources to make a single repository of data which can be consumed by the end user is called ETL, and the reporting is like the reports that we have developed is called the BI, and Cognos is a BI tool. So this is what we have learned in brief in our previous video. So now let's try to understand the Cognos analytics and the architecture of Cognos. Okay, before going to deal with this, I want to tell you is that the Cognos BI is basically a window-based tool, or it is also termed as the zero footprint tool. So the most component or the reporting part for the reporting part of Cognos Analytics, we don't need to install it on any system. We just need to have a URL which we can use to create our reports and our dashboards. We don't need to install Cognos in our local system. Only the modeling part of Cognos can be needed to be done. Modeling part in the cube building is needed to be done on a particular system or laptop or server, but rest the reporting part, we don't need to install it in any system. So what I mean to say is, like, let's go to a small activity. Okay, so this is a URL. Suppose this is a similar URL which you will get while you need to create a report on your own. Okay, so let's try to give our user credentials. Okay, so this is the welcome screen of Cognos. So here you might have observed that I have given some credential to log in to the Cognos system. So now in this system, we can create a report according to our business requirement. So I can create, see here we have multiple options that we can create the report, dashboard, stories, everything. We will discuss everything in details, but in this video, our prime focus is to understand the architecture of Cognos. Okay, so now let's go back to our original topic of discussion, that is architecture. So Cognos is basically a three-tier architecture. Okay, so the architecture can be described in three ways, that is web server tier, application tier, and the data tier. So the thing that we have discussed just now is basically we have done is, like, we have basically given a URL and we logged into the system. Okay, we have given our credentials to proceed to the next step. So in this three-tier architecture, the first tier called web tier. So in this tier, what happened is, like, we have given some user credentials. So what exactly this web server tier is like? Okay, so the web server tier is basically a set of small programs. Okay, so actually in Cognos web server tier, the this Cognos BI basically containing various gateways. So what are these gateways? So these gateways are nothing but small programs, and the web communication in IBM Cognos Business Intelligence is typically through these gateways, which resides in one of the web servers. A gateway is an extension of a web server program that transfers information from web server to another server. Web communication can occur directly with an IBM Cognos BI dispatcher. So what exactly is a BI dispatcher? This dispatcher is the part of the second tier of Cognos architecture, which is called application tier, and we will deal with it once we have understood this gateways or a web tier. Okay, so a gateway is an extension of a web server program that transfers information from web server to another server. So web communication can occur directly with an IBM Cognos dispatcher, although this option is less common than using gateways. When we install the gateway component on a different computer from Content Manager or application tier component, we must configure the gateway computer so that it knows the location of a dispatcher, preferably on application tier component computer. For failover protection, we can configure more than one dispatcher for a gateway computer. So what it means to say is, like, suppose if we have a very big data warehouse, in that scenario, in order to have load balancing or to avoid failover, we should have multiple servers in the web for this web tier. Moreover, IBM Cognos BI supports several types of web gateways, which are CGI, ISAPI or Apache mode, and Servlet. Okay, so what I mean to say is, like, we have various types of gateways. Okay, so the types of gateways that we have is the CGI. So this is the default gateway for Cognos. So this is called Cognos gateways. Then we have ISAPI. This is also a type of gateway. Then we have Apache mode. And we have servlets. Okay, so the CGI is a default gateway, and CGI can be used for all supported web servers. However, for enhanced performance or throughput, we may use the other supported gateway types also. The ISAPI can be used for Microsoft Internet Information Services or web server. It delivers more faster performance for IIS. So what is IIS? IIS is basically the Internet Information Services. Then we have Apache mode. We can use Apache mode gateway for the Apache web server. And we have servlets. So if our web server infrastructure supports servlets, then we are using application server. Otherwise, we should use CGI. So what happens when the gateway basically receives the information? So what happened is, like, suppose let's go back to our previous example. So there we had a Cognos URL where I have given my credentials, my IBM ID credentials. So what happened in that scenario is, like, it encrypts the password to ensure security. It extracts the information needed to submit the request to the IBM Cognos BI server. It attaches an environment variable for the web server, and it adds a default namespace to the request to ensure that the server authenticates the user in the correct namespace. And then it passes a request to IBM Cognos BI dispatcher for processing. So actually what happened is, like, in web server tier, in the web server tier, the URL that we have basically where we have given our user credentials is a part of the web server tier. So there we have given our credential. So in web server tier, because of the gateways, which are the small programs, it extracts the information, okay, and then those information is basically sent to the second label, which is called the application tier, and in that label it basically the Cognos basically try to understand what are the things that needed to be done. Okay. So let's proceed further. So this is the basic diagram for the Cognos BI architecture that I was explaining. So here in this you can see that, like, first of all we have a web interface. So the URL that I have where I have given my credentials is the web-based or window-based interface. Okay, so after that the web server or web server tier or web tier came in picture, and it extracts the information with the help of the gateways, and then the application tier basically came in picture, and in application tier it basically tried to understand what we need to do from the Cognos side. So our first step is to log into the Cognos system. Okay, so it extract the info, it works upon the information sent by the various gateways to log into the system in a nutshell. And then we have the application data tier, which is basically like database for the Cognos. So this is a basic data flow for application tier. Okay, so application tier is basically like Cognos application tier contains one or more Cognos servers. A Cognos Analytics server runs requests such as reports, analysis, queries, and that are forwarded by gateways. Cognos Analytics server basically includes dispatcher and the content manager. So as we told that, like whenever we receive a request from the web server by the means of various gateways, then some part of Cognos is basically going to act upon those requests, right? So who is basically going to act upon those requests? So there are multiple parts of Cognos tier 2 or application tier. Those parts are basically termed as dispatchers and content manager. So dispatcher is the primary component. It is like a heart of Cognos server. It basically manages the various types of services. In Cognos application tier, we have various types of services depending upon what we want to do from the Cognos side. Okay, so dispatcher basically starts or manages all the services configured and enabled on a computer and routes the various requests. Whereas content manager, it is the Cognos service that manages the storage of custom application data, including security, configuring data, models, metrics, report specification, report output. Moreover, content manager is needed to publish models, retrieve or store report specification, manage scheduling information, and manage the Cognos namespace. Okay, so apart from that, we also need to understand what exactly the dispatcher is doing. So as I told you, is like dispatcher starts all Cognos services and it configure and enable the computer, and basically it routes the request that it receives from the web server. Okay, moreover, the dispatcher is basically a server. It is also a server. It is basically, in a nutshell, in a very vague term, we can say that dispatcher is also a type of computer, but it basically manages the various services of Cognos. What exactly we want the Cognos to do, that whether we want to log into the system or whether we want to create a report or whether we want to create a dashboard, what exactly we want to do, those things are basically managed by the dispatcher. Okay, so dispatcher is basically a multi-threaded application that uses one or more threads per request. Configuration changes are routinely communicated to all running dispatchers. That dispatcher include IBM Cognos application firewall to provide security for IBM Cognos BI. The dispatcher can route requests to a local service such as report service, presentation service, job service, or monitor service. A dispatcher can also route requests to a specific dispatcher to run a given request. Requests can be routed to a specific dispatcher based on load balancing needs or packages or user group requirements. For example, if a particular OLAP data source is available for only one IBM Cognos server group, you can specify that all requests for the data source be routed for that IBM Cognos server group. When we configure IBM Cognos BI gateways, we can list the universal source identifiers or URIs for target dispatcher in order of most of the list preferred. If a dispatcher fails, requests are routed to another dispatcher based on the list. The primary dispatcher status is monitored by the gateway and requests are routed back to this component when it returns to service. When a dispatcher starts, it registers itself with content manager and as a result, each dispatcher is aware of other dispatcher. If a dispatcher fails or is unavailable, requests for that dispatcher are routed to the next available dispatcher until the failed dispatcher register re-register itself. Okay, so we have various types of dispatchers, and the various our dispatcher basically manages the various types of services. So, so these are the various services that a Cognos dispatcher basically manages. So here we can say that like we have agent service, annotation service, batch service. So what exactly is the? So let's try to understand some of the prominent services for the Cognos BI server. So agent service. What exactly is the agent service? So agent service basically run agents. If the condition for an agent met when the agent run, the agent service asks the monitor service to run the task. So what this exactly means is like in Cognos BI, we can not only create the reports, but we can also send alerts. Like sometimes we need to send mails based on certain triggering condition. Okay. So for example, let's suppose the case of a bank. Okay, so we have every day the branch manager of a bank gets a fraudulent report that some crimes, some account has the in some account some mysterious transaction had been happened, which is not a normal scenario. So there must be some flag for that. Okay, so let's suppose the flag is get triggered. Like suppose in an account we have a normal savings bank account, all of a sudden a deposit has been made of the level of say more than 100 crores. So that must be a triggering flag. So let's assume that the triggering flag is the amount balance greater than 10 crores. Okay, so once this trigger happened, the branch manager gets a alert that in some account this much of transaction had been happened. So how basically the branch manager has got this alert? So for that, this agent service will come in picture. Then we have annotation service. This annotation service enables the addition of commentary to reports via IBM Cognos Workspace. These comments persist across versions of the report. Then we have batch report service. This service manages background requests to run reports and provide output on behalf of the monitor service. Then we have content manager cache service. So this enhances the overall system performance and content manages scalability by caching frequent query result in each dispatcher. Then we have content manager service. This is a very important service. So content manager basically manages the various activity related to reports, like execution of report, execution of or a storage of the report XML, storage of the model, everything. So it performs object manipulation functions in the content store such as add, query, update, delete, move, and copy. It performs content store management functions such as import and export. So what exactly is the import and export? So suppose we are working in multiple servers. Like we have a development server, and we have a a testing server, and then we have a production server. So normally a developer do its work in a development server, and then it deploy those reports developed to a like testing server, where the testers basically test those reports, and if everything is fine, the report is deployed to the production where the business user consumes those reports. So how this thing happens? This thing happens by the help of import and export feature of Cognos. We will try to understand how import and export will be done in our future videos. Then we have data movement service. So data movement service basically manages the execution of data movement tasks of Cognos, the IBM Cognos BI. Moreover, data movement tasks such as builds and job streams are created in Data Manager Designer and published to IBM Cognos BI. Then we have delivery service. So the delivery service sends email to external SMTP server on behalf of other service such as report service, job service, agent service, or data integration service. So as we have already discussed the agent service. So actually in Cognos, multiple services, like for a particular task we may need multiple services. Okay, so Suppose some triggering condition has happened and we want to send a mail. So how the trigger condition happens, for that we need agent service, but in order to send the mail, for that we need the event management service. Then we have graphic service. So this service produces graphics on behalf of report service. Graphics can be generated in four formats, which is raster, vector, Microsoft Excel, XML, and PDF. Then we have human task service. This enables the creation and management of human tasks. A human task such as report approval can be assigned to individual or group on an ad hoc basis or by any other services. Then we have index data service. It provides basic full text functions for storage and retrieval of terms and index summary document. Then we have index search service. It provides search and drill through functions and including list of aliases and examples. Then we have index update service. It provides write, update, delete, and administration updation functions. Then we have job service. So it runs jobs by signaling the monitor service to run job steps in the background. Steps includes report other jobs, imports and exports, and so on. So by what exactly mean by this is like, suppose I have say more than 10 reports which are needed to be scheduled for a particular time for a particular business unit. So in that scenario, what we can do is like we can create a job which is a combination of multiple reports. Okay, and then this job service basically schedule the execution of the job. Then we have log service. So this records log messages generated by the dispatcher and other services. The log service can be configured to record log information in a file, a database, a remote log server, window event viewer on a Unix system log. The log information can then be analyzed by customer or by Cognos software service, and this including security events, system and application error information, selected diagnostic information. Then we have metadata service. This service basically provides support for data lineage information displayed in Cognos Viewer, Report Studio, Query Studio, Analysis Studio, and lineage information including information such as data sources and calculation expression. Then we have Metric Studio service. So this studio service basically provides the Metric Studio user interface for monitoring and entering performance information. Then we have migration service also. This manages the migration from okay, so what happens is like sometimes like any other tool in Cognos also we have regular migration from one version to another version. For example, previously we used to work in Cognos version 10, and prior to that we used to work in Cognos version 8. Now we are working in Cognos Analytics, which is the latest version, or Cognos 11. So every time whenever there is an upgrade in the system or when there is an upgrade in the tool itself, then we need to migrate our existing reports or the existing components from lower version to a higher version. So how this migration takes place? This migration takes place with the help of the migration service. Then we have the monitor service. This is also a very important service because it monitors the various functionalities of the Cognos, that is whether the health of the Cognos service is correct or not. And it manages the monitoring and execution of tasks that are scheduled, submitted for execution at a later time, or run as a background task. It assigns a target service to handle a scheduled task. For example, the monitor service may ask the batch report service to run a report, the job service to run a job, or the agent service to run an agent. So we can say that like a monitor service is like a service which monitors or which controls the other services. Moreover, it creates history objects within the content manager and manages failover and recovery for executing entries. Then we have planning, administration, and console service. It manages the communication with the contributor administration console. Then we have planning data service. It manages communication for real-time reporting for contributor plan data in IBM Cognos BI. Then we have planning job service. It manages communications with the planning job server subsystems. Then we have planning web service. It manages communication with contributor web and contributor add-in for Excel users. Then we have Power Play service. It manages the request to run Power Play reports. So Power Play is basically like as I have told you, like in Cognos you can create dashboards, you can create reports, and we can create cubes also. So the Power Play service is basically monitors or basically used to run the reports which are used, which is basically being created by the cubes created by Cognos Transformer. Then we have presentation service. So this transforms generic XML response from another service into output formats such as HTML or PDF. Moreover, it provides display, navigation, and administration capabilities in IBM Cognos Connection. Then we have query service. It manages a dynamic query request and return the result to requesting batch or report service. Okay, so query service is like whenever we create a report. Okay, whenever we create a report and we try to execute the report to fetch the data, to see the data, so in that scenario the query service basically comes in picture. Then we have report data service. It manages a transfer of report data between IBM Cognos BI application and then consume the data such as IBM Cognos BI for Microsoft Office and IBM Cognos Mobile. Then we have report service. It manages the interactive request to run report and provide output for a user in IBM Connection or iStudio. So this is also a very important service, and we will learn this service in a much more better way when we actually start working on the Cognos. So in this service, basically, like suppose we have created a report, okay, and the report is containing say five columns. Okay, so this is a tabular report which gives us information for various products and for various geographical region and various year and the revenue generated in that products. Okay. So we have created a normal tabular report and we execute the report and we want to see the output in HTML. So in such scenario, this report service basically comes in picture. Then we have repository service. It manages requests to retrieve archived report output from an archived repository or object store. Then we have system service. So the system service defines the business intelligence bus API compliant service used to obtain application-wide IBM Cognos BI configuration parameters. It also provides methods that normalize and validate norm local string and map local string to locals supported by your application. And finally, we have visualization gallery service. It enables the visualization gallery in the report studio. Okay, so these are the various types of services along with the brief description of those services. So the next part, okay, so now let's go to the next slide. So in this slide we are trying to show the flow for admission scheduling in the notification. Okay, so here what happened is like what exactly we want to explain is like suppose we have a report and we want to schedule a report for according to a business user. So how basically this scheduling comes in picture, or how the whole scheduling basically works is defined in this flowchart. Okay, so here what happens is like from the tier 1, that is from the web server tier, or from the URL we get a command that okay, we have a report which we want to schedule for this time, like say for this time and for this date, and the required report output format should be HTML. So in this scenario the presentation services basically comes in picture, and what exactly it does is like it basically try to identify what are the reporting templates that we need to use, and then depending upon it basically schedule the template, and after that this notification services basically comes in picture. Okay, and this notification service basically schedule the report, and once the time has been reached or scheduling time has been attained, this notification service should basically sends the mail to the corresponding business unit. So this is basically the administration scheduling notification. And then we have this reporting tier for how the basic reporting basically happens in Cognos. So this is also very important functionality. a very important type of service. So suppose we have, as I told you, like we have a Cognos URL where we have created a simple list report, or we have created a dashboard. Okay, now we have executed the dashboard to see the output. Okay, so how basically these things happens, or this routing of request express, that is explained in this way. So in tier 1 we have various gateways. So the gateway basically extracts the information that okay, a report has been created and we have executed the report, and now we want to see the output. So all this information from the report, from the web server, is extracted and sent to the second tier, that is the application tier. And there the report service basically have multiple like which have the multiple components like prompt manager, data access rendering, and query studio, which is basically the query engine. So it basically act upon the information that it receives from the web server tier, and finally it executes the report. And then we have the logging server. So this we have already explained that how the logging has been happening. So, and I have also given you a small demo that I have logged in to the IBM Cognos URL where I have given my credentials, and then depending upon the credentials it basically checks whether I should be able to authenticate it to the Cognos URL or not. And finally the data tier. So the data tier is basically the like how the data is basically consumed, or where the data is basically stored for a Cognos. So the previous two tiers basically like manages the various services of Cognos, but like any other database or any other tools, in Cognos we have a tier called data tiers where all the local data and all the data related information is stored. Okay, so this is basically consists of various parts like content store, data store, matrix store. So what exactly is a content store? So a content store is a local depository or a server where all the information related to Cognos are stored. For example, let's go back to our previous example where I have given my user ID credentials. Okay, so there must be some space or some server where this user credentials has been stored. So that is a content store. And apart from that, okay, so let's try to understand, like suppose here if we have created a report, so the report XML, whenever we create a report, XML for that report is basically getting generated. So that XML is basically stored in a content store. So let's try to create a small report. I will explain everything in details in our future videos, but here I want to explain you about what exactly we are storing in the XML in the content store. Please don't get confused by now. Everything will be explained in our future videos. Here what I am doing is like I am basically creating a simple list report. Okay, so this is a simple list report that we have created. Now in content store, if we save this report, yeah. So if we save this report, then this information is basically getting stored in the Cognos content store. So the Cognos content store is basically is basically the repository of Cognos where all the data related to Cognos is stored. And then we have the data sources. So the data sources is like the underlying database. Okay, so the basic functionality of Cognos is to represent data. Okay, otherwise we have in a much more better presentable way. Otherwise we have the database also where you can simply write the SQL statement to check the data. Okay, so the data sources is basically the underlying database, which can be Oracle or SQL Server or DB2 or Netezza. According to the business users requirement, we have the databases. Okay, so Cognos basically use those databases to create reports. So that is a part of the data tier. And then we have metric store. So metric store is, see, it was one of the tools for of the Cognos called Metric Studio. So the data related to Metric Studio was basically used to stored in Metric Studio. So these are the very basic information of the Cognos architecture. Okay, in our next slide or next tutorials, we try to understand how we can create the report. So in our future videos, the hands-on practice of Cognos is basically going to start, where we can build the Cognos reports, and we can do the other functionalities, like we can do the scheduling of the report, we can create a model of the report. Okay, but before going further, I want to tell you is like the Cognos is basically consist of two parts. The Cognos is basically consist of reporting and modeling. So what I mean to say is like, okay, so what I mean to say was like Cognos BI basically consists of two basic components. So the first component is the framework manager and the other component is the reporting. So the URL that I shown to you, so this is the web interface of the Cognos, and for that we don't need Cognos to install in our system. That is the reason I started this session by telling that Cognos is a zero footprint tool. Okay, so here whatever reports that we need to develop or whatever dashboard that we need to develop, those things we can develop in this portion, or this is in the reporting portion. But apart from that, we have a very important feature of Cognos which is called modeling, and that thing is basically displayed or achieved by using a window based tool called framework manager. So what I mean to say is like a Cognos component, Cognos BI has basically two components. The first component is the modeling component, where we basically create the model or the metadata, and the other component is the reporting layer, where we create the reports on the dashboard. Okay, so this framework manager is basically a window based tool. We need to install framework manager in a system or in a server, and there we need to create the model. Okay, and then we need to publish this model to the content store, which is a central repository, which we have already explained in our this video as a central repository. And and we need to publish it, or we need to like make it available to the whole, like to the whole system. See, actually what happened is like the reporting, since framework manager is basically window based tool, so whatever model that we have developed in framework manager is basically going to stand in the local system only, or in that particular system only, or that particular server only. But that is not the basic thing. We need this model to have to be accessible to all the users. Okay, so for that we need to publish this model to the content store, so that it should be available for the various report developers. Okay, so for that purpose we use a term called publishing, that is publishing the package, or publishing the package in framework manager model, so that it should be remain available for the business users or the report developers for the purpose of reporting. So let's go back to our report. So here you can see that this highlighted portion is basically this Go data warehouse query. So this is our model which had been developed using the framework manager, and these were first developed in the server which contained the framework manager, and after that this model had been published to the content store so that we as a report developer can use this model to create a report. And this model, if you expand this, so this model is basically consists of various small folders where each folder is we can say in a very layman term represent one table, a dimensional table, and a measure, and a measure of fact tables. So, for example, here employee expense fact is can be termed as a fact table, whereas this account or employee by manager, these are our various dimension tables. And this web user interface is the interface for the Cognos where we are going to develop our reports. Okay. So, and these are the various components of this report studio. That is, we can develop a report, we can develop a dashboard, we can create a user story. This is some new features which are added in Cognos Analytics, like the dashboard or the data modules. Those things are not available in Cognos previously, but now, in order to compete with the other cutting edge tools like Tableau or Power BI, Cognos also started or added some added features in Cognos Analytics. Like now, the business user can create a dashboards very easily, which is at par with Tableau. And moreover, as I told you, like we have a framework manager model to create the models. In the similar manner, sometimes the business user also may need to create basic models according to their business requirement, so that they can analyze the data in a much more faster way, and there not be that much of a dependency on the report developers. So for that, this data model basically came in picture, where the business user can directly create a model according to their requirement, and they can use those models to analyze the data, to understand the data, and to make the proper business decisions. Okay, so these are all for now for this session. In next session, we will try to understand what exactly is the reporting portion of Cognos, and we will start the reporting. Developing the reports from the very basic level of the creating reports from like list report to cross tabs, and then we'll try to understand how we can do the prompting of the user. That is, how we can give values from the report so that the dynamic filtering can be done according to the value selected. So this is all for now. Thanks for your time, and please watch other videos also, so that you can have much more better understanding of Cognos. Thanks for your time.